Speaker, for this opportunity. I stand to support with positivity the statements of the President of the Republic of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, I am a Muslim, and in my religion I'm taught that when something is good, please do not make it muddy. Honestly, for the first time, I agree in totality with all the issues that the President touched on. And with sincerity, I think majority of Kenyans are equally happy. But there must be a few who are not happy, and that is normal. But at the end of the day, the President is a politician, he must have critics, and that is okay. But as Kenyans, I want to tell my fellow Kenyans that this country does not belong to the President. He cannot think for us. We need to think together and criticize positively. We need to give ideas. Don't just criticize with no good idea or new idea. So I stand here saying that I am in support of the Taifa, Sha, Shi, whichever name it may be called, it doesn't matter, because any name you give to a flower, it will still smell the same. So this health cover is going to help wananchi. Personally, I know that I'm being deducted 27,000 from my salary to go towards this health cover. Any citizen with sober mind cannot say this idea is not noble. After all, majority of us are not working. The few of us who are working, we are saying, please, Mr. President, take that money off my salary and let Wanjiko and Atieno and Amina get health cover that will work for them. I support that system. Mr. Speaker, I also stand here to support the idea that truly the dollar has gone down. I am a witness. I bought a few things in January last year, and by the time I was paying, I really cursed the President. This year, little did I know that he was working on this. I really wish I'd stayed to buy my stuff that I bought at that period, because now the dollar really is shining. So, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate that effect that the dollar is now at an affordable rate that makes even food stuff go down and business workable for us. Mr. Speaker, I'm also in support of the security system that Mr. President was talking about. Truly, our girls and women are now being threatened by these unnecessary deaths that are occurring in the country. But I also want to urge the churches that this is where you are needed most. And I'm begging the churches that please, our religious leaders, kindly let us concentrate on godly affairs. I agree that it is your responsibility to check on the government and the leadership of this country. But look at our girls who are being killed every day. What do you do on Sunday when they come? What do you teach them when they come? In our mosque, what do we tell our girls when they come for prayers? That, dear girls, the government cannot protect you when you enter a lodging with the wrong man. The government will only catch that person after killing you, and the President will not be able to pay your family or give life back to you. So it is the responsibility of our parents, as the parents, and responsibility of the churches, because they are supposed to give direction. As leaders, there's very little we can do other than speak about it in public barazas. But what will I do if Fatuma decided to walk in with the wrong man in a wrong place at night? So my dear girls who are in school, my dear parents who are out there, this responsibility is yours, and the government's responsibility is very limited, other than give a speech and say, we will see what we can do about it. Mr. Speaker, I want to appreciate also the fact that the security generally in Kenya truly is not good. But this is the effect of non-employment. And unemployment can only be solved when the dollar is down, so that the investor will have confidence to come to Kenya and invest. When security for a person who wants to come and invest here is guaranteed, and when the condition for doing business here is manageable. So I would request the President that there are too many licenses that those who want to do business who come from outside to come to this country want to do business here. There are so many people in middle that make it very difficult for an investor even to be licensed. So I'm requesting the President also check into this so that we can have an opportunity to get this investment so that the jobs can be created. I come from sugarcane farming area, which is Migori County, and I'm very happy that Sony Sugar Company will now be working again. So job employment, I believe our farmers will be very happy. For the first time, they'll be getting their payment, and I congratulate the President, and I pray that may Allah give you more guidance, and may He give you people who guide you to do the right thing than those who just criticize you. Thanks to God.
Okay, you have half a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also want to tell my fellow leaders, and those who are already out, who went out by default or not default, that please advise the president on the right track. Since ODM donated our men and women who have knowledge in leadership, you can now see the president is being guided to the right direction. Other than those who are now dancing to Dombolo, I don't know, Mugithi and what, who are misleading the president instead of helping the president lead this country. I am asking the current deputy president, I can see you're a good man. I can see a good man from a distance. Please help the president, and please do not be over-ambitious. Your time will come, and if you help Kenyans, Kenyans will reward you. May God bless Kenya. May God bless our leadership.
Honorable Mawade, followed by Zamzam. Zamzam, you are after Mawade.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also contribute. Mr. Speaker, as per my observation, I find that there was a lot that was left to be desired. On the Adani deal, yes, there was pronunciation for the cancellation of the two, but they were three. There is still the 104 billion shillings that was still in the SHA for the software supply, the SHA-SHI software. As far as the insurance for the common mwananchi, just changing the name to Taifa or any other name from SHA, SHI, or I don't know, SHO, we should have retained. We should have retained the NHIF and just improve on it, and I'm sure would have, achieved more. There are so many people on TV every evening that are missing out, going to the hospital, and yet they're not able to get services. There's a lot that needs to be done to really achieve this. The university funding model is still a big, big challenge to the wananchi out there. I would have hoped that the president would have really come here and pronounce and say that he's going back to the old model of the funding model. There are so many unemployed youth out there. And what we wanted to hear, what the common mwananchi and the youth out there wanted to hear is that this is what we are doing to create employment. This is what we are doing to create employment. But that did not come through. Because most of the youth, every year, we have graduates that are leaving universities, but there was no solution to how they can create or gain employment on that. Kenya, the cost of electricity in Kenya is very, very high compared to our neighbors. The industries are fleeing the country to go to our neighboring countries because of the high cost of electricity. I was hoping that the president would come here and say that we will reduce the cost of electricity so that we are able to at least attract more industries. That way we are able to at least create jobs. There are so many companies in my area, in our area, Mukuru kwa Ruben, that have left the country and gone to Rwanda and Tanzania, especially the EPZ. The cost of living. The cost of living is very high. There is no liquidity in the country. The common mwananchi doesn't have money in his pocket. And what matters for most part is how much you are able to retain. But if we keep on squeezing the common mwananchi's payslip and taxing them, then they'll not be able to have sufficient to be able to really afford an amicable living. Cost of doing business also in Kenya is equally high because of various licenses that you must acquire before you can be allowed to really do business. And that's why the foreign investors are hesitant to do business. If you notice, there was a lady on TV yesterday night, who was talking about how her property was grabbed by people here in the CBD, and nobody is there to help her. Somebody can just come and bring goons, since they can afford 60 goons, and not everybody will afford, and she was kicked out of her business, and yet she had a 10-year lease, having stayed there for only 2 years. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honorable Zamzam, and then followed by the Honorable Mwalio.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuchangia kwa hotuba ya rais aliyotoa wiki iliyopita. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, mgala muwe haki yake mpe. Kwa mara ya kwanza mimi nataka niseme katika bunge hili kuweza kumsikiza hotuba ya rais na vitu ambavyo amevifanya Mheshimiwa Spika, si kuvifanya kwa maneno, kwa vitendo ambavyo tumeviona Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwanza niweze kumpongeza kuweza kutoa ajira kwa vijana wa taifa hili Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi mwenyewe nimekuwa katika sekta ya ajira kwa miaka 25. Mheshimiwa Spika, niliweza kuwasafirisha vijana 65,000 wakaenda kupata ajira nje. Na naona mkondo huu ambao rais amechukua, hata ukiangalia katika mataifa ya Philippines, Indonesia, India, wote wameshika ile market ambayo iko katika Middle East Mheshimiwa Spika. Na hizi si ajira tu za kazi za ndani peke yake Mheshimiwa Spika, ametoa ajira ya madaktari, nurses, engineers, yani katika sekta tofauti Mheshimiwa Spika. Mimi nataka kumpongeza kwa kazi 1,103 ambazo amezitoa hivi karibuni kwa vijana wetu Mheshimiwa Spika. Nataka pia nimpongeze rais kwa Taifa Care Mheshimiwa Spika. Hii ni huduma ya afya ambayo itashika mpaka yule mwananchi wa chini ambaye hayuko kwenye mshahara Mheshimiwa Spika. Ameitoa hii ili kuweza kusaidia yule mama ambaye anauza maji, mama mwenye kusukuma mkokoteni, na wale ambao wako katika maisha duni Mheshimiwa Spika, ili wakuweza kwenda hospitali waweze kupata huduma Mheshimiwa Spika. Niweze pia kumpongeza kwa mara ya kwanza mwaka huu Kenya hatujapata njaa Mheshimiwa Spika. Na hii ni kwa sababu mwaka jana rais aliweza kuwekeza kwenye ukulima, na kweli tumeona matunda ya ukulima. Chakula kimejaa, wananchi wamekaa vizuri, ukiangalia utapata mahindi yako sawa, unga uko sawa kwenye maduka. Wananchi wa Kenya wamekaa hawajalala njaa Mheshimiwa Spika. Niweze kumpongeza rais kwa kuweza kufanya hivyo na kuweza kuzalisha mazao ya shambani Mheshimiwa Spika. Jambo lingine pia Mheshimiwa Spika, nimpongeze katika mfumo wa CBC. Tulikuwa hapa bungeni tukilalamika kuwa hakuna madarasa, lakini hata hivi weekend Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi naenda Mombasa kuenda kuweka jiwe la msingi katika shule ambazo zimetolewa hivi karibuni, ambayo ni mradi ambao umewekwa na rais kuweza kuongeza madarasa ya CBC Mheshimiwa Spika, ili watoto wetu wa JSS waweze kusoma vizuri Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, nikiangalia katika sekta ya miwa, ukuzaji wa miwa wa sukari, sasa sukari ilikuwa tunapata kama 40,000 tons. Sasa imeongezeka imekuwa 84 tons Mheshimiwa Spika, ambayo imetufanya sisi tusiweze kutoa sukari kutoka nje, tunakula sukari ya hapa nyumbani. Niweze kumpongeza rais kwa juhudi zake Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, wajua kila kitu kinachukua muda. Na mimi kitu nilichogundua ni kuwa rais alikuwa pengine hana ile timu ambayo inaweza kumzungumzia yale mambo mazuri ambayo amefanya. Lakini kwa yote ambayo amekuja katuelezea, nimeenda moja baada ya moja, nikapata si kama yale wanaosema kwenye mitandao kuwa mtu mrongo, hapana. Na kupongeza rais, na hata ukisikia watu wanakurushia mawe, yachukue uyajenge taifa. Manake hata ukafanya kitu kizuri, mtu mbaya siku zote atakutoa aibu wakati ambapo umefanya kitu kizuri Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hiyo mimi nampongeza rais kwa juhudi ambazo amefanya. Jambo lingine amezungumzia mambo ya femicide ama mauaji ya kiolela kwa wanawake Mheshimiwa Spika. Hili ni jambo ambalo limetugusa kina mama wengi sana. Na hata juzi nimeona Nakuru, mchungaji wa kanisani ameweza kumdhuru na kumkata mke wake vibaya sana. Na sisi tunajua kanisa ndio linafaa liwe mbele kuweza kuleta amani katika ndoa. Si yeye tu, kuna wengine ambao sio katika makanisa lakini wako kule nje ambao wanaua wanawake. Mheshimiwa Spika, Rais ameweza kuzungumzia jambo hili na ametuhakikishia kuwa wanawake wa taifa hili wataweza kupewa ulinzi. Lakini kama alivyosema mwenzangu, ulinzi unaanza na wewe mwanamke mwenyewe. Usijitoe waziwazi kwenda kwenye mahoteli, kwenda kwenye BNB, hujui mtu anaenda na kumalizia huko, kisha tunaanza kusumbua president na mambo yetu ama starehe zetu. Wanawake tuwe macho, tuweze kujichunga sisi wenyewe. Mheshimiwa Spika, najua alisahau kuzungumzia mambo ya blue economy, lakini nataka nipongeze mpaka waziri wetu ambaye ni mgeni ameweza kufanya kazi kubwa sana na tunaona matunda makubwa sana ya blue economy. Kina mama Mombasa wanafanya biashara na wamepata pesa za kufanya biashara. Kwa hiyo mimi nampongeza sana rais. Nataka nimpongeze rais kwa juhudi ambazo wamefanya kutupatia waziri ambao ni mchapakazi. Kama alivyosema mwenzangu, wamekuja wamepiga jeki na tunaona matunda kwa sababu ya uwiano. Nataka niwaambie Wakenya tuweze kumwombea rais dua, aweze kutupeleka katika njia sawa. Kila siku ukitukana kiongozi, hata vitabu vimeandikwa kuwa tuheshimu viongozi na tuombe Mungu tuelekeze katika njia sawa. Nilikuwa mmoja katika wale tulikuwa tukimchapa fimbo, lakini kwa haya ambayo amefanya Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka kusema nitakuwa mbele katika wale wanaomwombea dua na katika wale ambao watampa support aweze kuongoza taifa letu, tuzidi kuona matunda. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity that you have given me to be able to air my views about the President's speech. I want to say that this is one of the best speeches that the President has given since he was sworn in the office. And I want to say that having said that he is listening to the people, that is a plus. Because even the Bible says that two cannot walk together until they agree. So the President has started agreeing with the common mwananchi, with the Kenyans, and they have started a discussion together. That is why he was able even to invite some young people, speak to them, and also some church leaders, speak to them, some opinion leaders, speak to them, so that we can be in the same wavelength. So, and in the conclusion, he said he will still continue to listen to them. That means he wants to move with them as he governs this country, so that he can know what is ailing the people that he is leading. And that is a plus, as I have said before. What I have seen is the best model of the university funding and the tippets. I can say that this year alone, I have seen a growth of the tippet that is in my constituency, which I started in 2018 when I came to the office in 2017. And for the first time, I had only 500 students for 5 years. But this year alone, because of this funding model, the students who have enrolled in that tippet are now almost